top 5 worst designs. Okay. Let me see. Let's see what we got here. What are the worst top 5 worst designs? Right off the bat, Eric Bloodaxe. I think that is one that everyone agrees that is just bad. Dear God, they butchered that guy. Another one that I would say has a terrible design to the point. Oh, well, yes, Odysseus. I don't know why he's a mecha pilot. I don't understand why they went with that route. That is a horrible design. Should have never been done like that. I think those are like the top 2 that like come to my mind. There's probably others that I just kind of don't remember, or the like I can't really, are not popping up right now, but I'm sure we're gonna find out. Let's see what we're gonna see here.
What's up everyone, I'm Dizzy, and today we will be having a look at my top 5 least favorite server designs in FGO. Before we
okay, my top. Okay, so he's right off the bat saying that personal opinion, good work. I will not criticize you that much. I will still criticize you though, because you put it public. And when you put it public, you're putting yourself at the public's mercy. But very good, very good. Opinion based.
So be sure to like and subscribe to catch my latest videos and help out the channel. A quick note, this is just taking in the visual designs. I'm not taking personality or gameplay into...
Okay, no personality, no gameplay. I guess in that case, Odysseus would not be in this list. Because design-wise, I don't think Odysseus looks that bad. It's a bit questionable, but I don't think he looks that bad. But personality-wise, he's pretty bad. And it's kind of a shame.
Consideration here. Let's just get right into it. Starting off at number 5, we have Romulus. No, not this one.
Oh, okay, not this one. Okay, yes. Especially considering you have this version to compare, I would agree. First version of Romulus is WTF.
This one is gorgeous. I'm talking about the OG version.
Yes, man. Like, if it wasn't, let's be honest, the only reason why this Romulus is popular is not popular, but like why we care about this Romulus, because of he has the whole meme of praise the sun and Roma. If it wasn't for that meme, if he didn't have his goddamn posture, he would not be anywhere near as memorable as he is.
About this version, I just never liked how he looks. I don't know if it's just like the design in general or the color palette I'm not the biggest fan of, especially the final ascension. And
I actually don't mind the bulge. Like, you know, there's plenty of females in the game that have massive they have massive assets, so there's no issue with guys also having them exposed.
I don't know what is it that he's wearing. Like, I love abs as much as the next guy, but that's the type of thing that a male stripper would wear instead of a freaking founding god. His weapon also looks kinda goofy sometimes. I mean, look how massive the spear is. And the fact that he's just, like, whenever he's fighting...
I mean, it's more a club than it is a spear, but...
or attacking, his animation is just like him holding one hand and like swinging it around like it's nothing. Please give him an animation update so he doesn't just swing his massive spear like some wooden stick he found on the street. I know my argument doesn't really sound as strong, but it's just been something that I've...
No, I think it's strong enough. I think Romulus is just a design you... I think Romulus, especially now that you have his grand form to compare, where you go like, oh, so this is what we could have had. No, this is what Romulus could have been. Instead, we have this 3-star version.
Always had in my mind, and that is probably why I really use him. Coming up at number 4, we have the Wizard in Menlo, Thomas Edison.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. If we're not talking personality and we're not talking gameplay, we're just talking about design, yes. This is probably one of the worst. The only redeeming quality he has is that his personality is fun. And so you can kind of ignore the very, like, what the WF is going on design.
Before you go down into the comments and tell me paragraphs about the lore and why he looks like that, I can read. I've played the game. I know why. Just why does he look like that? Like, how did he come up with this decision? It's like All Might and Mufasa had a baby and decided to be...
Okay, that was a good one.
The most patriotic American citizen ever. Don't get me wrong, I love Edison as a character, but
Yeah.
how come Tesla gets to look like some lightning god, while Edison is like a buffed lion plushie? Also, why did...
To be honest, you're comparing. Let's be honest here. You're using a bad the April Fool's Ascension picture because it's convenient for your argument. Because using the final Ascension would make you look bad, because the final Ascension of Edison actually looks pretty badass with him holding the American flag and looking so patriot. Why can't I say the patriot? Patriot. Oh, I can't say it. Patriot. I don't know. I can't say the word for some reason. But I agree. I think that Edison design is also pretty bad. The only reason we like him is because he has an amazing personality and he's kind of a meme. But why the hell does he look like that? Let's be like, come on.
Does he have rainbows on his back? I never understood like these weird rainbow capes.
Yeah, that's also not saying, like, why does he have rainbow cape? Like, why does he have that rainbow stuff?
I get that he's credited for inventing light and like, but can't they just be a normal cape made of light or something? Why does it have to? I don't get that. Like, the rainbow is just too colorful to be like to take him seriously. I mean,
he feels too cartoony. I guess that would be the correct way.
Lions are cool, but I just wish he's a bit cooler. I can't really take him seriously whenever he appears in the screen. Also, can he get an animation update like Tesla, please? Despite his latest buff, I feel like this game just did Edison a bit dirty.
Yeah, especially when you learn when you get to learn the actual how they actually looked in real life, and you really see that Edison. Not to mention, the thing about Edison is that this Edison specifically is from the singularity of the American singularity. This is supposedly not the Edison that you would normally summon. This is a specifically special servant that only originates from the American singularity because they needed presidents or something. I don't remember what the plot point was, but they needed presidents, and so they got fused with all the presidents. It was a weird plot line. I mean, it was one of the first chapters, so it's a bit wonky. But like, this is not, if you were to summon Edison, this is not who you would get. This is a very special version that only originates. Originally should only be from the American singularity, but for some reason he's everywhere. And I don't know if we're ever going to get the actual Edison at a certain point, because I feel like that's what we need.
Up at number 3, and this will cause some outrage. We have Minamoto no Raiko. Hold up!
Oh boy. Come on, say it. Hold on. Minamoto no Raiko, huh? Uh-huh. I see. Minamoto no Raiko, huh? Minamoto no Raiko. Got it. Come on. Let's hear this. I want to hear it. Let's hear this. Come on. Tell me how bad she is.
Before you go down into the comments, just hear me out. I love Raiko as a character. I freaking love her. I've been using her for such a long time and she just carried me so far. Like, it's Mama Raiko, come on. But her design is just a bit too unfeasible. Like, it doesn't seem...
I know a lot of servants are Passion is beyond talking about, so that's why she's not here. Passion Lip is not from FGO though, so that would be bad. Like, Passion Lip was not made for FGO. Passion Lip was made for another game, and she was ported into FGO. You can't be saying that she's a horrible design in FGO because she was not made originally from FGO. You know, like that would be a foul play if you brought in Passion Lip. Which, while I understand the argument that it's ridiculous the size, I actually do think her FGO design is much better than her Fate Extra Triple C version, which is way worse. Raiko. Not talking about personality, not talking about only design. It's different to separate that. It really is different to only look at a character design-wise and completely ignore the parts that you like, such as the personality. Let's hear the arguments first, I guess.
Feasible at all. It breaks all the laws of physics and makes the study of.
If you think Raiku's boobs are too big to be realistic, boy, do I suggest that you never Google big breasts, like biggest breasts in the planet. You will be terrified of what you find. Not even Passion Lip is not even close to the biggest. Let me tell you, it is terrifying. Some of the stuff you can find if you search long enough and know what the keywords to put. So no, it does not break the laws of physics. Raikou would have a pretty bad pain in the back because of all the weight, but it is not unfeasible.
Human anatomy pointless. I think it's Rita's art style, which if you like Rita's art style, you can go ahead, but it's not for me, and it's kind of hard to.
What? You don't like his art style? So what, are you saying Kintoki, Moriarty, and Shuten are all bad art? I'm sorry. He is one of the best artists in the game, with one of the best ranges. He can make hyper mummies, can make super lollies, can make buff dudes, and can make elegant old guys. The only thing he's missing is like the Shota. That's the only one he hasn't done yet for FGO, a Shota. Everything else he's done for FGO. And I guess the old woman. He hasn't done an old woman yet, but there's no old woman in the game, so maybe he'll do Baba Yaga eventually.
Find a cool fan art of her. They're all just like fan service fan arts, or like the only time you can see her actually looking cool is in the comics. She is just.
That is a lie. If you are looking at her fan art and all you see is the fan service, then you're not looking enough. As a professional at looking at fan art, I will tell you, there's lots of cool fan art of Raikou just posing with her sword and lightning being all over the place. Now, I will admit that lately, yes, in the last few, 1 or 2 years, it's been mostly just fan service. But like if you reverse the search results, meaning you start from the oldest to the newest, you will see all the good stuff that there exists for Raikou in terms of fan art.
A cool character. I wish she can be even cooler instead of just being, I don't know, Rule 34 the whole time. Also, one more thing.
Every character is of Rule 34. What are you talking about?
What is she actually wearing? I actually.
It's a skin suit. There you go.
She never thought about it, but now that you think about it, what is she actually wearing? Is it like a jumpsuit? I would love to see.
It's a skin suit. That's it. It's a skin suit.
Male version of Raikou. Yeah, just a thought.
A male version of Raikou. Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
But still love Raikou though. Just wish her design was more normal. Coming up at number.
AKA less big breasts. I'm sorry. I just can't. I could understand if you don't like big breasts, but I always giggle. I always snicker whenever I hear they're too big to be realistic. And I'm like, dude, you haven't Googled enough. You haven't researched enough to say that. There is stuff out there that you'll see and it's gonna blow your mind and be like, well, how do these women survive? How do these women even walk with that? It is insane, the stuff I've seen on the internet in terms of size. It is, Jesus. Now, sure, they are the exception, obviously, and they are less than 0.00001% of the population. But Raikou is also not a normal person. Raikou is also a 0.0001% of the population. So it doesn't really matter. Anyway, these are servants. You're talking about realism about a character that should be a guy. and was gender bended because tits. It's kind of a moot point. But okay, if you don't like big breasts, I can understand why you don't like her design. I didn't like her design also when I first saw it. And as you can see, she has grown on me. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so that's the third one.
Number 2, we have Julius Caesar. Man, this
Yeah. I agree. Julius Caesar is pretty bad. Julius Caesar is... I don't get it. I don't get it either. Julius Caesar is a character assassination.
guy was done so wrong.
Yes.
How do you go from being basically the most famous Roman ever, like no one doesn't know who Julius Caesar is, to this?
I really do I would love... I really would love to know who came up with this idea. Oh, let's make Julius Caesar a fat dude. It really blows my mind. Julius Caesar, of all people, of all the Roman emperors you could choose, you choose him. There are so many like less known emperors that no one gives a shit about, that you could have done whatever you want with them, and you went for Julius Caesar, the most famous of them all, and made a caricature out of him. It really is like, Jesus, what is this?
How? Why? Again, the comic relief, I get it, and I'm not...
But comic relief is stupid, because at the end of the day, all they did is shoot their... All they did by doing this is shoot themselves in the foot. Like, think about it. What do they do now with lesser-known emperors? What? Are they going to make them better than Julius Caesar? Are they going to make them better than Caligula? Are they going to make them better than Romulus? Are they going to make them better than Nero? It's like, this is actually something that you have to sink in. I mean, obviously when they made this, they didn't think it would last this long. They didn't expect it to still be around 8 years after launching the game. But still, man, it's like... Because Julius Caesar is so bad, Constantine is a 5-star. Constantine is also pretty famous, and I'm talking about actual Rome, and I'm talking about the Holy Roman Empire that happened over 1,000 years after. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual Roman Empire, not the broken mess that the Europeans claim to be the Holy Roman Empire. We're not talking about that nonsense. We're talking the actual Roman Empire when the Roman culture existed. There are loads of emperors that existed during that time. One of the most famous, if not the most famous, is Julius Caesar. How are they ever, and if they ever want to put the other emperors in, because there's still a few good ones that they could put in, how are they ever going to justify that Julius Caesar is worse than them, when Julius Caesar has done way more in history than them? It's just, this has kind of shot them in the foot. They can't really progress that much with Roman Empire, because loads of the emperors now that they have at their disposal have to purposely be worse than... Because he's technically not an emperor, I guess. I mean, he's better than an emperor. Oh, man.
Body shaming Julius Caesar or anything, but...
Nah, this is a horrible design for Julius Caesar.
One of his attack animations is him just literally...
There are actual fat guys in history that did pretty cool stuff and some horrible stuff that they could easily pick up. And of all people to make a fat guy, they pick Julius fucking Caesar. Of all people. One of the most famous Roman generals who actually fought in combat. Yes, that guy is the fat dude. There are actual fat Roman empires. But no. We can't use those. No, we gotta do the Julius Caesar. Sure.
Rolling like Sonic and attacking. How can I take him seriously?
Yeah, that's also another thing. Like, they added the Sonic attack, which is like, I get it, it's a joke, but still, Come on, man. We didn't join Fate because we like the joke characters. We joined Fate because we like the cool characters.
It's just sad to see sometimes, but really hope they make a different version of him, maybe like a caster or a ruler, because he always complains about him.
Julius Caesar should be a ruler. Just true opinion, Julius Caesar should be 100% a ruler. And outside of Romulus, I like Romulus being the top Roman emperor because, you know, he's the origin. Sure, fine. I feel like the second most powerful Roman emperor or leader should be Julius Caesar, just by reputation alone. And then you can put everyone down. Nero, I can agree that Draco Nero is fine because Nero also has the whole, you know, Whore of Babylon and Number of the Beast kind of thing going with her. So I'm fine with accepting Nero can also be at the top, but Julius Caesar should be 100% at the top.
Being a saber, but I don't know, like I would love to see a 5-star version of Julius Caesar. That would just be epic, but don't think it would be happening. So before we get to our number one, here are some dishonorable mentions. We have Boudica and Uchiwa Kamaru.
I agree with Boudica. A little bit. I think her first ascension is my only issue with Boudica. I think the other ascensions are fine, but the first ascension, you know, where she has like pennies on, is bad. You know, I don't understand. Once she gets a skirt, I'm like, okay, fine. Now it's fine. And when you get to her final ascension, she actually looks good. Especially her in-game model, her actual combat model, I think looks really good. I think the reason why it looks bad is because the artist's art style really stands out among the other ones. Uchiwa Kamaru, I get it. Man, it's really hard for me to criticize Uchiwa Kamaru's design because I really like it. However, I think even the creators of this agree that the design isn't good, considering that in Melty Blood they put clothes. She actually wears a leopard underneath that, so that she's, you know, not completely naked. So like even the people behind it have already acknowledged that it's bad by the very fact that they have censored it and given her a leotard in other games where she shows up. But I wouldn't say like these are bad designs. Again, these are dishonorable mentions. You know, they're designs that have very easy fixes. I think Uchiwa Kamaru is easily fixed with just, you know, giving her something underneath there, like a leotard or a skin suit like Raikou has. And Boudica, I think the only issue is the first ascension, and also the art style doesn't really help her in comparison to the rest.
They are kind of for the same reason with Boudica. It's mainly her first ascension. Why is a queen?
Yeah, first ascension. Same thing I said. First ascension is really bad. Like, what is this? Like, this one is fine. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. Like, I can understand it being bad. But, like, boob windows is, like, something that's, like, kind of just... You know, it's like, okay, fine. I'm fine with accepting. But this is like, come on. Now you're just pushing it. Especially when you consider that, like, her personality is of basically a MILF. Like, she's basically a mother. So it's like, it feels even worse. If she had the personality of a teenager, I feel like it would work better because teenagers just do whatever the F they want. But I don't feel like this would be good. Like, I don't feel like this fits her personality.
Wearing a bikini, it just looks dumb. It's pure fan service at this point, and I don't really like it. And as for Uchi, it's just what she's wearing. I genuinely love,
or more like lack of wearing,
everything about Uchi. Like, I love everything about her. She was amazing in Babylon anime. But
Uchiwa Kamaru is one of the better servants. But design, I agree also that like she definitely needs something underneath. But you know, I understand why they go back and change stuff.
Remember that she's basically walking around half naked. So yeah,
she's not half naked. She is naked. Having straps on top of you that occasionally cover you if you're in the right angle is not a description of wearing something. Like, if all you need to do to see what's underneath is literally just take 2 steps to the side, and suddenly you have full view of what's underneath.
version gave like a more censored version of Ushi, which I actually weirdly kinda like, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, coming up at number 1 is none other than
Eric Bloodaxe, come on. There's only that one has to be here. Eric Bloodaxe. I will be surprised if it's not.
Eric Bloodaxe.
Yeah. This guy. Made by the same artist who did Baltica, by the way.
Probably forgot about this guy, didn't you? Which further proves my point. This guy probably has one of the lamest designs I've ever seen. Heck, Vikings from proper history probably look even cooler or flashier than this guy. He's literally just a muscular guy with a shield and an axe. I swear he looks like a background character from Vinland Saga. The only cool thing about this guy might be
that's dishonest. Like, Vinland Saga characters look way better than this. Come on.
his axe, but honestly his design is something that like, a toddler can come up with. And I know I said I won't mention personality, but I gotta say, as a berserker who doesn't speak much, you kinda need to have a cooler design for...
Yeah, that's actually one thing that should be like obvious about berserkers. I was like, if they can't talk, right? Unless you, if they can't actually talk, if all they can do is grunt like Hercules, they need to have amazing designs, because otherwise, like, there's nothing going on there. You know, that's why Lancelot looks super cool with his armor. That's why Hercules looks, you know, looks gigantic, like a giant. Meanwhile, you look at this guy and you're like, you know, it's like even Caligula, who can barely talk, you know, he looks cool because, you know, he looks like a Roman emperor. So it's like there's stuff going on there. Meanwhile, you have this guy and all he does is grunt, and his design is just like whatever.
For him to be relevant, but he doesn't have that as well. Like I genuinely forget he exists in the game, and I have him like fully ascension and everything, but I've never actually bothered using him. And I'm not saying that all designs should be flashy. They just need a bit of character. For example, like Arash or Hector.
Arash is as one of the most basic designs in the entire game. I'm sorry to break your bubble. The only reason you care about Arash because Arash is super cool. You know, he has super cool personality. He's a bro, and he's very useful. As the sole reason, because otherwise, you could the Arash design literally screams generic archer guy. That is who Archer. That's who Arash looks like. He looks like generic Archer guy.
Look like normal human beings. There's nothing there's nothing so flashy about them, but they're just cool. I love the design despite it being nothing special. And I wish like Eric got the same treatment at least. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with the list? We can discuss it down in the comment section.
I kind of agree. Raikou, I don't agree. I can understand if he doesn't like it, because he doesn't like the big boobs. That doesn't bother me. I don't think the argument that they're unrealistic is good enough, because there's way bigger boobs in real life. Just Google them if you dare. I would probably substitute Raikou with Odysseus, just because I don't like that Odysseus is a goddamn mecha rider. I think that was a dumb decision to do. But, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. No, not 4 yet. 4, 5.